News Review from BBC Learning English. Hello and welcome to News Review, the programme where we show you how to use the language from the latest news stories in your everyday English. Hi, I'm Neil. Joining me is Catherine. Hello, Catherine.
Hello, Neil.
So what's our story today?
Okay, today's story is an exercise story. Now, we all know that exercise is good for the body, but today we're going to find out how exercise is also good for the mind.
Okay, interesting stuff. Let's find out more from this BBC Radio 4 news report.
A study says moderate exercise several times a week is the best way for the over 50s to keep their brains in good working order. Australian researchers say combining aerobic activities such as swimming, cycling or jogging with muscle-strengthening exercises is most effective. They support the idea that taking up exercise at any age is worthwhile.
Okay, so everybody knows that exercise is good for the body. It keeps your body working well. It keeps your body healthy. But Australian scientists have done some research which shows that exercise can also keep the brain and the mind working well and healthy. And if you keep your mind working well, your brain healthy, it means that older people will have less chance of developing diseases of the brain. This means that memory loss will be less, and in particular, a condition called dementia will happen less if you take exercise as you get older.
Okay, well, you've been looking at all the news websites to find the words and expressions people need to understand and to be able to use to talk about this story. What have you found?
Okay, so we have sharp, keep something at bay, and stint.
So that first one there, sharp.
Okay, so if we go to BBC News website, the headline is Exercise Keeps the Mind Sharp in Over 50s Study Finds.
Sharp meaning mentally quick and intelligent.
Yep.
And Catherine, I don't think I'm very sharp because, as you know, I often get confused. I thought that sharp was used to describe a knife.
You're right, Neil, and you're clearly not very sharp in your mind, because if you were, you would know that the word sharp often describes the way people think. If you have a sharp mind, you have a lot of intelligence and you can cut away unnecessary information, and you can cut straight to the most important point of a situation. You can find the solution very quickly. So a sharp mind means one that cuts away all the unimportant stuff. It means you're intelligent and you're a really quick thinker.
Okay, well, we can use sharp not just with mind, we can also use it with wit, for example.
Yeah, if you have a sharp wit, it means you're really quick thinking and quick talking, often quite funny and comic in the things that you say.
Yeah.
And we can talk about a sharp intellect. If you have a sharp intellect, it means that you're quite academic, you can understand complex problems and situations very easily, and you're good at studying in academia.
Okay, well, we do need to be careful of opposites here because there's a direct opposite of sharp, which is blunt.
Well, for a knife, yeah. If you have a sharp, if your knife isn't sharp, it's blunt.
Yeah, but we don't use blunt to describe someone who is the opposite of intelligent.
I'd like to, but no, you can't. Not usually, no. You can't say that the opposite of a sharp mind is a blunt mind. We don't usually say that.
Okay. Okay, moving on to your next headline.
Okay, so now we're looking at the Daily Express. Exercise keeps dementia at bay. Running and walking significantly boosts brain power.
So to keep something at bay is to prevent something from happening. Quite a strange little expression, but very common.
It is very common. It's used in everyday English. We see it in this headline, but you'll hear it all over the place. And the origin of this one's quite interesting. It's actually an animal idiom.
Right.
Yeah. So going back to days when people did a lot of hunting with dogs.
Yeah.
You use a dog to help you catch and hunt another animal. The dogs are excited. They can smell the animal. They're barking. They're making lots of noise. Another word for barking in a dog is bay. And if a dog is baying, it's howling and it's on the lead. You're holding it back.
Yeah.
It wants to go. It wants to attack. It wants to run. If you keep the dog at bay, you make it stay away from the thing it wants to catch.
Yeah, it's not something you want to be on the other side of.
No, not at all. So if you keep something at bay, you mean that the thing that wants to get you or cause some damage or difficulty, you stay away from it. You make it stay away from you.
So can you give me an example?
Well, I actually have a bit of, what do you call it? Hay fever. Hay fever, yes.
Bad time of year for
It's
that.
awful. The pollen, and I'm sneezing and sniffing. And I take an antihistamine tablet every day
Yeah.
to keep my hay fever at bay.
Yeah. In the winter, I get colds
You
all
do,
the time. Yeah. So to try and keep the colds at bay,
Yep.
I take something called echinacea.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it helps to stop this horrible thing happening.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Talking of horrible things.
You have another example?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
the boss.
The boss.
Yeah. He wanted me to do this project.
He's after you.
He is,
He
yeah,
wants you to do. Yeah, he does. Yeah.
But you know what? I haven't done it.
You haven't. So how are you going to keep him at bay?
Well, I kept him at bay. I dumped a big load of papers on
Right.
his desk, and I said, "Got some stuff for you to look at."
Yeah.
And then I left. And I think that will keep him at bay for a while.
Well, I hope you're right.
Okay, moving on to our last headline.
Okay, so let's go to the Yorkshire Post. Stints of exercise can boost brain power in over 50s, say experts.
So stints, limited periods of time spent doing an activity.
Yes.
Yeah, it's very colloquial.
It is.
Very
yes.
common.
Yep. And the important thing about this one is that the time, it's a limited amount of time doing a particular activity, but it can be a very short time or it can actually be quite a long time.
Yeah.
So you can have a stint in as a presenter. It could be a 5-minute stint in a studio, or you could have a long stint
Yeah.
working somewhere. I believe you had a stint working in Japan, didn't you?
I did. I
Yeah.
had a stint working in Japan. I had a longer stint working in the Czech Republic.
Right. So you can have a stint,
Yeah.
or you can
Do
do
it.
a stint.
Do a stint, yeah, yeah. I
And how
did.
long was a Czech Republic job?
3 years.
Right. So not short at all.
No.
No.
So yes, it's relative, isn't it? I mean,
Absolutely.
my life is quite long.
That's true.
I hope.
Hopefully.
And this stint is a relatively short period of time.
Yes. Now, the stint can be followed by either a verb ing, so you can have a stint working somewhere, or you can have a stint at something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or a stint as something, even.
Yeah.
Like I had a stint as a deep sea diver.
Did you?
For example, I didn't know. Can you tell?
Yes, I can actually.
Okay, well, before we recap on the vocabulary we have looked at today, we of course have our Facebook challenge. Now, we've been talking about exercise, and there's a verb we use to mean start doing exercise. And we asked, is it A, take up, B, take on, or C, take over? And how was our response?
Very good response. Very few people said take over. We had quite a few people saying take on, but actually when you start doing a sport or activity, you take it up. So well done, Anoid Unab, Kabir Omar Ibrahim and Naz Sumaru, who all said take up.
Well, they obviously all have a sharp mind.
Yes,
Can you please now recap the vocab?
I can. We had sharp, which means mentally quick and intelligent. Keep something at bay, meaning prevent something from happening. And stint, which means limited period of time spent doing an activity.
Well, if you would like to test yourself on today's vocabulary, there's a quiz you can take on our website, bbclearningenglish.com, where you can find all sorts of other videos and activities to help you improve your English. Thanks for joining us and goodbye.
Bye.
News Review from BBC Learning English.